a second-year PhD student, and I'm working under the license of Dr. Peter Theodore. And I understand your name is Josiah? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I go by Joe though.
You go by Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this session is going to be a little different than most other sessions. If you continue coming here today, I'm going to be taking a lot of notes and asking a lot of questions. I just want to get a full picture of your history and your current symptoms and level of functioning to devise a treatment plan and treatment goals. And as you can notice, we're being videotaped, and I will have access to it along with my supervisor. Is this okay with you?
Yeah, do you guys keep it for a long time, or?
Not for too long. I'm not sure exactly how long he will. It'll be under his care, so.
Okay.
And it'll be in a
So no one else will see it?
Nobody else will see it. And I just want to let you know that everything we say in the session is going to be totally confidential and private. The only time I will have to break confidentiality is if you have a plan to cause great bodily harm to yourself or another person, or if there's any elder or child abuse going on.
Okay.
Do you understand? Do you have any questions about that?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so what brings you in today, Joe?
So a lot of things are just happening at school. Just not sleeping really well. Just my grades are dropping, and just things just seem to be falling apart right now.
Falling apart. Can you tell me more about what you mean by that, please?
Just that my teacher's been telling me that, you know, my grades, I'm usually pretty good A's and B's. I'm at Pepperdine University and sophomore year now. Doing well, but it's just, I don't know, this last semester has been a little bit harder than usual.
Okay. What do you think is making this semester different from others?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess it's just a lot of things are just floating in my mind. Just a lot of conflicting thoughts about different things. I know I'm taking Xanax and that's supposed to help me sleep and everything, but that seems, I mean, there seems to be a lot more things going on.
Okay.
And so I'm just really concerned about that.
Okay, so it does sound like you have a lot of things going on right now. School seems to kind of be you're not functioning at the same level as you used to be.
Right.
And you've just began taking medication to help with your sleeping?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, how long have you been taking this medication?
For I think it's about a year now, so things kind of where I wasn't sleeping really well. So the doctor just gave it to me, so not a psychiatrist or anything, just my regular doctor.
Okay, so I would like to revisit this. I just want to get a few details about your current level of functioning, like what you're experiencing right now.
Okay.
So when did this begin?
I think things started beginning the spring semester. That's when I started having most of these symptoms. Just it was like, just irritability, just hard time to focus.
Okay.
So yeah.
Spring of
This year.
this year.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever felt this way before?
Yeah, I remember feeling this way before in high school.
How long in high school did you experience these symptoms?
I experienced them for, let's see here. I was my freshman year, also in high school.
How long did they last for?
I would say a while. I'd say for a good 2 years, 2-3 years. Then I went to some therapy for a year after that. But yeah, then I went back to school.
Okay, so you did seek services when you were feeling those symptoms
Yeah,
before?
my parents paid a lot of money to go ship me off to Indiana for therapy.
Okay. Do you know what kind of therapy?
Something called reparative or something like that.
Reparative. Were you ever diagnosed with a disorder?
I think something like anxiety they called it, or adjustment, I don't know, something weird like that.
Anxiety. Okay. How did that therapy work for you?
It was horrible. I'm not sure if that was therapy or something different. It was for being away from my friends and everything for a whole year and then coming back to school to finish off my senior year. It was very disruptive, to say the least.
Okay. So your parents, it was their decision for you
Yeah.
to seek therapy?
Parents in the church, they said, yeah, you need to go.
Okay. And now, do you feel like you're experiencing the same symptoms?
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Okay. And have they gotten worse, or are they like the same as when you were in high school?
It reminds me of high school, so kind of the same level right now.
Okay. On a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being like, not bad at all, to 10 being the extreme worst, where would you rate yourself currently?
It's about a 9.
About a 9?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're really struggling.
Yeah, it just reminds me of back in high school, how difficult it was dealing with it, and then having really no support from both parents and church, and they just kind of just think it's like something's wrong with me. I think everything's fine, but they tend to think that something's wrong.
It must be really difficult to feel that you don't have any type of support, especially from your parents.
Right, yeah, and the church doesn't, they think it's like a sin or something, so I don't know what it is.
Okay, what exactly are you referring to when they say they think it's a sin?
Although, because reparative therapy is like this kind of purging of that, so you can be, normal, I guess.
Normal. I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Mhm.
Are they speaking in terms of your sexuality?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I'm getting right now is that your church and your parents made a decision that they think it's within your best interest to change your sexuality.
Right, they didn't
In high school.
understand it, yeah. Because Mom caught me with somebody from school, Gabriel, and she flipped out. And she goes like, that's wrong, that's a sin, so they shipped me to Indiana for 1 year to change me. But I'm not sure if it really worked.
Okay. That sounds like a very difficult situation to be in.
Yeah, definitely, I felt traumatic, to say the least.
Okay. Besides that experience, have you had any other type of therapy?
Nope, this is my next time trying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a great thing that you came back in to try to get some assistance with this, because it sounds like it was a really bad experience at first, so for you to take another try at it, that's a really brave thing to do.
Yeah, there's no one else to talk about it, so I figure I'd come here.
Okay, great. I'm glad that you did. So I would like to understand your symptoms a little more. So is this, does it happen every so often when you feel like you can't focus and you're irritable?
It just seems to go out the whole day. There's no one time.
So is it every day?
For this last semester, yes, it's been pretty much every day, especially going to classes.
Especially when you're in class?
Yeah, especially going to my physical lab classes and just being in certain environments seem to trigger it more.
Okay. Are you aware of what it is that seems to trigger this more?
I'm not sure actually. Yeah, I think I know what it is, but I'm not sure if it's just like being attracted to other people or not. So I'm not sure if that was what's making me uncomfortable.
Okay. Ever since your experience with reparative therapy, has that changed anything of your romantic relationships?
So when I got back, my senior year, I was dating girls, not a problem. But I just, in the back of my mind, I felt that there was something different about me, so. So even though I was dating girls, that wasn't a problem. It was just, I felt that there was something, like there was an attraction to guys, and it just was always there. So I think the attraction to Gabriel back on my soft freshman year or so, it seems to not gone away, and it seems to be now prevalent now that I'm here at the university.
Okay. Currently, are you romantically involved with anyone?
Guess you call it that. He is in lab with me, my lab partner, kind of confessed that he was interested.
Okay. How do you feel about him being interested in you?
I think it's mutual, because he kind of told me how he felt, but like I said, we want to take it slow, not jump into things. In terms of what we do sexually, we just masturbate. He wants to hug and kiss, and I'm just like, I think that's too much right now.
Okay. Do you feel like, do you feel guilty for wanting to be in a relationship with him?
Not guilty, just feels weird and awkward because of what they told me through the other therapy. That it was just so bad to do that, and I'm struggling with that point right now.
Okay. And how about your parents?
They don't know anything about this, and they don't even know I'm here right now.
Okay.
And I don't want them to know that I'm here right now.
Okay.
That's why I'm paying out of pocket to come here, so there's no record of it.
Okay. So you mentioned that your sleep has been affected. Can you tell me how?
It's just like tossing and turning, just hard to kind of sleep, so I'm not sleeping that much.
Is this every night?
Not every, but a lot of the nights.
So out of 7 nights a week?
I would say about 4 to 5.
4 to 5?
Yeah.
Has your energy level been affected?
I think I've been more irritable, if that's, that's how my energy's been changed.
Do you find yourself having more energy, being more energetic, or less energetic, feeling like you have? No?
Not really energetic. I think I play with a rugby team, so I keep myself active. I think it's more irritability.
Irritability.
Yeah.
Has your eating been affected?
No, that seems to be fine. Yeah, that's normal.
Okay, what about your sexual functioning?
What do you mean by sexual functioning?
Have you not engaged in any sexual behavior since your reparative therapy, or has it changed?
So my senior year, I was having sex with girls. Haven't had sex since, and just the current thing that with what's his name? Isaac. Yeah, that's so I don't know, not really intimately, just masturbation, if you call that sex.
Are you interested in having sex, or?
I'm not sure. I don't even know what that would mean. I know there's an attraction level. I just don't know what it means to have sex with a guy.
Okay. I thank you for sharing this information, because it's not easy to discuss, these type of things, and it seems like you're struggling with your feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you. Has there been a change in your weight?
No, not really.
Okay, now I would like to revisit your medication.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on that earlier. So, was it Xanax?
Xanax,
that you're being, okay. And it was for anxiety, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
For sleeping, I guess my doctor said for sleeping.
Is that what Was that the presenting concern that you went to the doctor for?
Yeah, I was just irritable and couldn't sleep.
Okay.
So irritability and sleep.
Have you ever been hospitalized for that?
No, no hospitalization.
Okay.
Other than being at that treatment for a year, that's about it.
Okay. And that was an inpatient?
Yeah, I don't know, it was some kind of facility that they kept me there for about 8 to 10 months.
Okay. And the meds, if you mentioned they're not really helping.
I mean, it helps with the sleeping, but everything else, no, like the irritability and this, like, the kind of the tension that I have with kind of dealing with this relationship, or this, whatever you call this.
Okay. Is, you're talking about Isaiah?
Isaac, yeah.
I'm sorry. Is your attraction to him what kind of made you decide to come in to see me?
Yeah, and what's going on, because it seems like there's more things progressing, that we were just lab mates, and it just seems like it progressed to him telling his feelings to me on Valentine's Day, and then he just kind of wants to, I mean, I'm attracted to him and everything, but I just don't know what that really means.
Okay. Have you tried, like, figuring out on your own, you know, what it means to you? I'm just trying to, like, understand your thought process.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you say you're trying to figure out, like, what it means. Have you reflected on what it means to you?
That's my confusion part, I think.
Okay, so I just wanted
so
to...
I don't understand if, like, because reparative therapy says this one thing or that, and it's kind of like struggling with the church, and then what my feelings are, and then, so it seems to be like all kind of just like a big pot of just chaos, basically.
Okay. Are you worried about what the church and your parents are gonna think?
Definitely worried, and then I live with the Dempseys, and they're very secular, and they're very with the Church of Christ, and so like I can't really talk to anyone about this.
Okay. Can you tell me who the Dempseys?
The Dempseys are what the couple I live with, so I rent a room from them.
Okay.
And they're affiliated with Pepperdine and the Church of Christ, so they're really, really nice, and they've been really helpful. But Sandra, the wife, kind of noticed the differences and changes in me, so she was concerned.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, I think other people are noticing that too now.
Okay. When you are experiencing these symptoms that other people are noticing, is there anything you do that helps you feel better?
I think the rugby team has been helpful, just going out and doing that and just trying to focus on school, but it just seems to be kind of difficult.
It sounds like it could be very difficult, but I think it's great that you being involved with rugby.
Yeah, that's
like
really
a great way.
It's a really fun activity. Just learned it, they picked it up, they showed me a lot of things, so that's been really good.
Oh, good. Do you feel that you have anyone you can speak to about this?
No, not really.
No. Have you ever opened up to anybody about what you're going through?
No, it's just Isaac and I talk about it, but that's about it.
Okay, so now that I have a better understanding of what you're currently experiencing, I just want to take some time to ask you some questions about your past.
Okay.
So have you ever had any health issues?
No. Everything's been fine.
Besides Xanax, have you been medicated?
No, that was the only medication that I've been prescribed.
Okay, hospitalized for anything?
No hospitalization other than that treatment center.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to ensure that everything we say in here is confidential, so I'm going to ask a few personal questions.
Okay.
Have you ever experimented with drugs before?
Yes. So alcohol, and I smoked out a little bit, and that helped a little bit, that helped take the edge away, I think.
What did you smoke?
Marijuana, that was in high school, but in college, no, not really. Just occasionally, nothing big.
Did you use large amounts of alcohol or marijuana when you did?
What do you mean by large amounts?
So did you drink until you were like really, really intoxicated and?
I mean, I drank till I was buzzed, and the pot just made me feel just kind of like easy and like don't really care about anything, so it helped me. So I don't know what amount that would be.
Okay. How many joints did you smoke?
Like one, maybe two at the most.
Okay, was it like daily, weekly?
It was sporadic in high school, so it wasn't daily, that's for sure. My parents would catch up on that.
And alcohol, when was the first time you?
That was in high school too.
In high school. When was your last use of marijuana?
Marijuana? Probably about a year ago or so.
And alcohol?
Alcohol, I drink with friends around here, so I'd say socially, so last weekend.
Okay. Are there any past thoughts or plans of suicide?
No, not really.
Have any of your family members experienced any of the symptoms that you're currently experiencing?
No.
What about any type of other illnesses? Do they run in your family?
Nothing really runs in my, I mean, there's some, I don't know, it was on my chart, but I don't know, it's nothing big though. I forgot what it was.
Okay.
But I know I clicked on it on the chart they gave, that little sheet they gave you.
The form?
The form,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But nothing major.
Any alcohol or drug history that runs in your family? No. Okay. I would like to hear a little about your upbringing.
Okay.
What was your family living situation like growing up?
So I was born and raised in Fresno. That's sort of in Central Valley. And mom is a housewife and my dad works at a company. It's been really helpful. I have a younger sister. She is 3 years younger than me. And for the most part, I mean, a happy childhood. We're really committed to our Christian Church of Christ, so that's been very important for us and the family. And other than that, I did well in school. So when I applied for my senior year to go to college, I got a full scholarship to Pepperdine, but I also got a full scholarship to Wheaton and another Christian school, which my parents would have preferred me to go to, but I didn't want to go to a Christian school. So I chose Pepperdine.
Okay, great
So
job.
I kind of was different from them. So.
Okay, well that's a great accomplishment to get offered that many scholarships.
So yeah, so that's been a positive thing, but
Yeah,
so that's been really good.
okay, awesome. How would you describe your relationship with your parents currently?
Mom is good. My dad has been, it's close, but it's not the greatest relationship. But I think when they shipped me off to that center for some months, I kind of really had a lot of anger towards them. Because they took me away from my friends and they took me away from everything. And it made me feel like I had something that needed to be fixed.
Made you feel like you had something wrong with you?
Right, yeah, and I wasn't sure what it was, and so I guess with the church and my parents, so really concerned about it. They put so much money into it that I figure that maybe something is wrong with me.
Okay, well, I thank you for sharing that, because it sounds like it's something very difficult that happened. And does it still bother you? Do you still feel?
Yeah, I just remember the treatment that they gave me and the stuff that they did were just weird. So they would make you do things, and they just, now that getting out of there, it's just like there's sometimes it's like I have like, I don't know, I think about it, or I have it in my mind type thing, and I just remember it, and they weren't not really good memories. So that's why I was concerned about coming back to seek therapy. Is like, I hope it's not like that.
Okay. This is totally different from that, so I just want you to know this is a safe place for you to come talk about your thoughts, feelings, what you're going through. I just want you to know that.
That's great.
When you're unable to sleep, do you think about these things that happen during
They
that
do
time?
kind of come in my mind, just, and that and just kind of my feelings about Isaac and all this kind of flood together.
Okay. Do you find yourself constantly throughout the day thinking about your therapy experiences?
There's like points, I wouldn't say every day, but there's like minutes or sometimes that comes into my mind of how I should not have those feelings and thoughts type thing.
Can you be a little more specific about those
Like they
feelings
train
and
you
thoughts?
certain ways to kind of get rid of those feelings. If you like a guy, they tell you to do these things, and it just seems like it doesn't work, and it just keeps in my mind, so I'm reminded back of that therapy of how I'm supposed to feel, but I don't feel that way.
Okay. Does it cause you distress when you feel these
I think I get really
things?
irritable, yeah.
So I'm just going to take a shot at saying that these thoughts and feelings of remembering your past therapy, that's contributing to your irritability and you're not being able to sleep?
Yeah, I think that's part of it, yeah. Just part of it is I can't really talk to anyone also about my feelings and how what I feel for Isaac and what's going on. So I feel kind of, we're like, I guess they call it in the closet, or just no one knows about it. So no one suspects it at school.
Okay. Does anybody know?
No one knows.
Nobody knows. Have you thought about coming out, as people say?
No, not that.
No.
Not gonna do that, yeah.
You're not going to
Not
do
because
that?
of the school, it's very religious, and yeah, it's just not appropriate.
Okay. How do you feel? Like, say if, there wasn't this stereotype towards, people attracted to the same sex, and it was like a perfect world, and, nobody cared about who other people were attracted to, how would you feel about coming out?
I think the problem is still my parents, so I think that's always gonna be there. I mean, the world, I understand the world, there's acceptance and everything, but parents would be hard because they actually took me to that center to change who I am, and so I think that would be the biggest hurdle.
Okay. So it's your parents that...
My parents and like the church, so the church members that are there.
So, apart from your family, what was your social life? How was it growing up?
I had a lot of friends, so that seemed like a normal childhood. Yeah, I wasn't very involved with school, so we did a lot of things involved with the church, so that just seemed fine. I think just when my mom caught me with Gabriel, that just kind of threw a red flag and changed things. Other than that, I felt like it was a normal childhood.
And currently?
Currently, things are well. Like I said, I feel like I have a support in terms of like a place to stay, rent out from the Dempseys, have a part-time job. The school is, I like the campus, and it's just fun, and being part of like the rugby team and things like that have been really helpful. But I think it's just like these thoughts and feelings that come back flashing in my mind is kind of, this last 2 years, or last year has been the hardest. Before I didn't, like my freshman year was okay, and then things started to change again, I'm not sure why.
Did they start changing when you met Isaac?
Isaac, I mean, they started to come in my mind more, but I think they were still in the back burner type thing, and they just didn't come forward. Because there was always the thoughts, and I see a guy and I'm attracted to them, but I also see girls and I'm attracted to them too. So it's like, but I know that what I was told is like, I should focus more on the girls, and then these guys' thoughts will go away. But I have always had these guy thoughts. It's like, wow, there's something attractive there. I'm not sure why.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this like conflict going back and forth with me in my mind.
Okay. Do you have a lot of support, like from your friends? Do you have friends that you talk to about other things?
I mean, support in terms of school, yeah, but in terms of personal stuff, I don't. I keep that private.
You keep that private?
Yeah.
Okay. So you find yourself attracted to other girls, females?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been trained to through that training, is like focus on girls and things. Those thoughts will go away. These are just sort of like the devil, or I forget how they termed it, but it was just like those thoughts are just, it's they're bad thoughts, they're sinful thoughts, and I shouldn't think about those thoughts and focus on sort of, they call it repressing it, and started focusing more on the opposite sex.
Okay. And do you find yourself trying to fight that, or do you want to be attracted to the opposite sex?
Yeah, I'm fighting it. I mean, that's what part of the problem is that fight, because it's just like it feels more natural this way, and I'm fighting what they've told me and what they deem that I should do. So I think that's kind of the struggle.
Okay. Before you met Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
when was your last relationship?
It was in high school.
Who was it with?
That was a girl. Her name was Jillian.
How long was your relationship?
We dated for about 6 months.
How was that relationship for you? What was
That's
it?
fine. I mean, we're really good friends still. We talk, and she's at Stanford, and I'm down here in SoCal, so we remain close, and I think she's dating someone now or something.
And were you in a relationship with Gabriel?
I mean, it was high school, so not really a relationship. It was just, I guess we just messed around type thing. But yeah, no one, until my mom found out that we were doing something. But no, not a relationship.
I'm gonna ask about sexual activity.
Mm-hmm.
So did you engage in any sexual type of activity with Julian?
Yes.
Yes.
We had sex, yes.
Okay. How many partners have you had?
About 8.
Okay. Same sex or opposite sex?
Those were all girls.
All girls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use protection?
Well, one time we had a couple slip-ups, but most of the time, yeah.
Typically, are they girls that you know, or have you had any like one night stands?
They were all from high school, so we were all part of the high school. I mean, I guess one or two are one night stand, like one time type thing, but yeah, on the most part, it's like dating them.
Okay. Was this after your therapy or prior?
So before I was still dating girls, and then afterwards it was more of a focus to date girls, so it was the same, both.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Any STDs?
No.
Thank you for sharing that with me. I know they're very personal questions, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just talk about your school history. It sounds like school's always been really important to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like you had really good grades in high school.
Yeah, pretty good grades, yeah.
And you got scholarships, right?
Yeah, I got 3 scholarships, so yeah, so that was really good.
What was your favorite subject?
Biology.
Biology.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had any issues with teachers?
No, they've been, for the most part, super helpful.
Okay, that's good. And currently you work at a hardwood store?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, have you had any other jobs prior to?
I mean, I worked a little bit in high school, but it's because I had to focus enough time to do my schoolwork, so my parents didn't want me to work that much, so I did more volunteering stuff.
Oh, awesome. What kind of volunteer work?
So volunteer with the church and also with the Kiwanis and different groups that do, and what's the other one I did? Call it when you work with older, the convalescent hospital.
Convalescent hospital?
Yeah.
Sounds like you kept busy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to keep myself busy.
Did you ever have any issues with bosses or supervisors?
No, they've been really, really cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. What about currently?
No, my boss at the hardware store is really understanding. He knows I'm going to school and everything, so.
Well, that's great. What about your future goals? Do you have any?
Thinking about medical school, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what I do, so who knows. I think working with people is definitely what I want to do, but I just don't know what capacity.
Earlier you mentioned that your grades are starting to become affected.
Mm-hmm, correct.
Okay. Are you still passing your classes or?
A couple of them are not doing that well, maybe a little bit below a C, and that's really unlike me.
Okay. What is it that is different about is it like your study habits, or are you missing class?
Just can't focus, I think, because of just all those thoughts are kind of coming in my mind type thing. Just being irritable and just like, not feeling like I want to do that anymore, because it's just like, those thoughts just keep in my mind type thing, so it's just things have been declining, I guess. I think it's I'm just more irritable too.
Do you find yourself avoiding certain situations that you think are gonna make you more irritable?
I wouldn't say avoiding. I don't know. I don't think I would avoid. It's just my mood is just irritable.
Okay. Can you give me some examples of your irritable mood?
So like in lab when I'm with Isaac, I'm kind of, those thoughts are more prevalent, and then my feelings are like, wow, I really like him, but then my thoughts of the therapy tell me like, no, you should not have these thoughts and feelings. And so that's when I get more irritable, it's like when I have classes with him. That's what initially I try to change my partner, my lab partner, because it just felt weird. But I missed the deadline to talk to the TA to change it, so he became a partner, and then things just kind of progressed from there.
Okay. So it sounds like it's just this conflict that you're having with yourself of, you know, your own feelings and then what you feel like other people, like the church and your therapy, would want you to do and how they would want you to feel.
Right, like the reminder when I see Isaac, that seems to like trigger this other thoughts and feelings that coming from the reparative stuff.
Okay. How are you in your other classes?
I'm doing okay, but it's just like I just feel like I'm just not myself, I guess.
Can you tell me a little more about what you mean by that?
I think because I'm just so caught up with my feelings about Isaac and not knowing what it's all about. I guess it's kind of like a domino effect along the other classes, which I enjoy, which I'm doing well, but I'm not doing as well as I could.
Okay. What are your goals for therapy?
So I'd like to understand more about these feelings I have, because what I was told in the past that they were bad and negative, but I'm not sure if they are or not, so I'm kind of want to better understand that.
Okay. Well, we can definitely help you with that here, and from what I'm getting, I think that you had a very traumatic experience in high school, having to go through that therapy and kind of being forced to change your way of thinking. So, is that correct?
It sounds like it, yeah. That was pretty traumatic experience.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that. So, do you have any questions for me before we end today?
No, I'm kind of curious on how different this is gonna be than the other therapy, because they made us do a lot of weird things.
Can you tell me what kind of weird things?
Like they had like shock, because they would kind of, if you got like certain thoughts, they would shock you, or they would almost like, it was weird, they would do things that when you thought those feelings, they would try to erase those feelings. You can't erase those feelings, so I'm really conflicted with, you can't erase those feelings, those are kind of your feelings you're having, so I'm concerned about that, and concerned about that my parents don't find out, because it's just like, that's the last thing I need to do, is have them come in or know about what's going on, and I think that's gonna make things just a lot worse.
Okay. You don't want your parents to find out that you're coming to therapy?
Right, because then they'll know that something else is going on, because I'm not telling them what's going on.
Okay. I just want to reassure you that this type of therapy is nothing like that type of therapy. Personally, from the research that I have done on imperative therapy, I don't agree with it. It's not something that I would actually do. There have been studies that have shown that it causes more harm than good. So I personally don't really, look high to it. And they just want you to feel safe in here. You will never be asked to do anything that you don't want to do. And as for your parents finding out, everything is totally confidential. So as I said earlier, my supervisor and I will only have access to this videotape. And if anybody were to call and ask, like, if you're a client here, then we're not warranted to give information out about that.
Okay.
So
That's good to know.
okay. So before we end, I asked my clients during an intake session a variety of different questions.
Okay.
So what year is this?
2014.
Which season?
It's raining, so I don't know. I think we're in spring. Because of the spring.
Okay. What month is this?
It is April.
What is today's date?
It's April 2nd.
What day of the week is it?
Today is Wednesday.
What country are we in?
United States.
What state are we in?
California.
What city?
I think it's Alhambra.
What is the name of this building?
I have no clue.
Okay. What floor are we on?
We're in the basement.
Okay, I'm gonna name 3 objects.
Okay.
When I am finished, I want you to repeat them. Remember what they are, because I'm gonna ask you to name them again in a few minutes.
Okay.
So, ball, car, man.
Ball, car, man.
Okay. Now spell the word world.
WORLD.
Now spell it backwards.
DLROW.
Now, what were the 3 objects that I asked you to remember?
Blue. Oh shit. Something blue, car, man.
Okay. What is this called?
Pin.
Okay. Now, I would like you to repeat this phrase after me. No ifs, ands, or buts.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay. What is this called?
Table.
Okay. Read the words on this page and do what it says. Okay. And write any complete sentences on that piece of paper. Actually, can you draw this design on there too? You can go ahead and keep that.
That
Copy
big
this
or
design, please. This
that size or bigger, or does it matter?
whichever you prefer. Thank you. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. So take this in your left hand and fold the paper in half once with both hands. And put the paper down on the floor. Okay, awesome. So I just want to thank you again for coming in today. And from now until the next time we meet again, I would like you to kind of look up, articles on reparative therapy if you haven't done so. Have you researched it on your own?
I've talked to Isaac about it. He said there's something on there. I guess I can look. I haven't read about it though.
Okay, so I would recommend actually reading up on it and also reading about different types of other therapy. So maybe you can kind of get a sense of, what is different about it and to kind of educate yourself more about what different options you have for therapy.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you for coming in today.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.